In his address to a joint session of Congress on Tuesday, U.S. President Donald Trump praised Elon Musk and his Department of Government Efficiency for downsizing the federal workforce by over 100,000 employees. Christopher Fasano, a lawyer for the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, CFPB, is one of those affected. Fasano, who spent over a decade working as an attorney in the nonprofit legal services sector, described his elation at landing a job with the CFPB in October.
Anger. It was a lot of anger. I was surprised because I knew it was coming, I think, in the weeks leading up to the termination. And then when I got the email, I kind of expected, I was expecting it, but I was still angry. And I would say my colleagues were angry too.
Just last week, I was illegally fired from the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau with many of my colleagues.
One of the first things that we did is we had about 60 to 70 of us. We got on a phone call at around 9 o'clock at night to talk about the firings. It was certainly illegal, right? And to be dismissed illegally was frustrating. But beyond that, I've been a committed public servant for, a few months at the CFPB, but before that, I was at a nonprofit legal service provider helping low-income New Yorkers who were defrauded. So this is something that I've been passionate about. I've worked in this area for years, and to not be able to serve consumers, not be able to serve New Yorkers, not be able to serve Americans who are being defrauded, angered me, and it angered my colleagues too. Right now, I'm looking for jobs. I had been working at a nonprofit legal service provider for about a dozen years, and moving to the CFPB was a bit of a dream job for me. I remember when I was practicing, I was a young attorney doing consumer defense work, and the CFPB just came onto the scene, and they put out all these good regulations and protections that I was able to use in my practice. I always thought that I'd eventually want to go to the CFPB. So when I finally was able to do it in October of 2024, I was really ecstatic. I was able to take the kinds of cases I was working on before, which is really, I was representing individual consumers, and do it on a much bigger scale. So not being able to bring those types of cases is, it's kind of devastating, and having to look for jobs is tough. Every Wednesday, we've been having informational pickets outside of the federal building from 12 to 1. It's through the Federal Unionist Network, or FUN. We're going to plan actions not just here in New York City, but all throughout the country. And we're going to look to have direct responses in cases where agencies are laying off workers, being able to immediately have a rally or a press conference. And then we're also going to stage some bigger events. So the goal is to communicate to the American public that as public servants, all we want to do is go back to work for the American public, and we are being prevented from doing that by Elon Musk and Doge.
Agencies across our government. He's firing federal workers to dismantle our